Welcome, Rangers fans, to another midweek Coaches Show as we continue to go through the school year here at Smithson Valley and highlight all of our athletic achievements by all of our student athletes. And as we start each show, or have each show for the fall, now we're into December, but we're still talking about football. And last week in the state quarterfinal game, regional championship between Smithson Valley and A&M Consolidated, we managed to win a 31-24 game, a tense back and forth game, and bring that regional championship home to Smithson Valley and allow us now to move on to the state semifinals in a game that we'll talk about later in the show. So we'll go back to last Friday night. We were in Leander, Texas at Gupton Stadium playing for the regional championship against A&M Consolidated. Yet another back and forth game, and we say back and forth, I guess it was mainly back for a while there. The Buzzards were circling pretty good as we fell behind 17-0 in the first half, and fought our way back, got closed it to 17-14 at the half, and then they pulled away to 10 points, and then we got it to 7 points, and then we tied it, and then we went ahead and scored. Just a hard-fought game against a high-caliber opponent, which you would expect when there's only 8 teams left in the state. But an exciting win for us and advances us to the semifinals, as we mentioned. And let's start with our defensive performance. Coach West for A&M Consolidated had a lot of threats, a lot of different ways to hurt you. We knew that going in, and
Yes,
they proved to be as good as advertised.
They really did. I wasn't pleased with the way we started. They hit some big explosive plays on us early.
Yeah.
Got us in a hole, but I tell you, I was really proud of our kids for just steadying the ship and keep playing, cleaned up some things.
Right.
And of course, Duffy got the big pick six that kind of swung the momentum there before the half a little bit.
Right.
And really pleased to come out in the second half holding them to 7 points. The team that had scored 17 pretty quick on us,
Right.
held them to 7 the rest of the way. Like that'd be 0, obviously, but pleased with our kids' effort. They just kept playing and
Yeah.
cleaned things up as we went. Thought we stopped, tried to make them one-dimensional going into the game and held them to less than 100 yards rushing. A team that had been pretty explosive running the ball as well as throwing it.
Yeah.
And we're able to steady some of our coverages and do a better job in the second half.
Well, you mentioned the pick six, down 17-0. We finally get a touchdown, pulled it within 17-7. But it looks like that's how it's going to be at the half. And then Jackson Duffy jumps a little short route there and takes it back. Now it's 17-14 at the half. We're behind, but as you came up the ramp into the locker room at halftime, you felt like the momentum was on our side. And you kind of sensed that they sensed that too. And it was far from over, as we know. But Coach Hill offensively, much like Coach Westford said, not a great start.
No, it was not a great start. Getting down 17-0, and like Coach Westford mentioned, though, there was not a single kid on our sideline that had any doubt that we weren't going to come back and get into that football game, whether we were going to win or not. Every single one of the guys believed, all right, we're going to get it going. So pretty slow start, like you said. There was some 3-and-outs. They're tremendous on defense, and they were taking away some of our throwing game and kind of stopping our run, and we're having to punt early on. And then the last drive before the half, we were able to go down and punch it in and score. And then the pick six, as you mentioned, kind of turned the tides in our favor a little bit. In the second half, the running game really was established. Rushed for over 300 yards on the night. Brad Sowersby had 245 of that. Offensive line and the tight end fullback group were just absolutely amazing, picking up A&M Consolidated's blitzes and some exotic looks that we don't see throughout the year very often.
Right.
And they did a great job at that. And then the last drive going down to tie the game at 24, converted on a couple of 3rd and longs. Cole Freund had a big catch. Freddie DeBose had a really big catch to keep that drive alive and get us back into it.
No doubt. And then we take the lead and get a stop and we got the stop, and then we need a first down or two to ice it. And as you said, we were able to get that done and get out of there and with a win. And you kind of mentioned it didn't look good. I go to church Sunday, and there's a gentleman shaking my hand, says, "Coach, been a heck of a year. I know you probably would like to play 1 or 2 more weeks, but you got to be proud." I said, "Well, hang on a minute now. I think we won that game." And he goes, "Y'all did?" Says, "Early second quarter, I turned it off, went to another game." And so, you got to hang in there and stay with us. But, just a big win, a quality win, very reminiscent of a game 3-4 years ago where we're down I think 20 points at the half in a bi-district game against Reagan and come back and win. So you don't like being in those holes, but it is a testament to your kids and their character and their commitment that they just kind of, bailed enough water off the ship to keep it afloat until we could get it plugged and get going again. And just a big win. And that carries us to the state semifinals, the Final Four, if you will. We next go to the semifinal game against Veterans Memorial, a team out of Brownsville, Texas, who upset. In some people's mind, it was an upset. I don't think in their mind it was an upset. I think they planned on winning all along. But they beat Corpus Christi Miller, who was previously undefeated, and they won the Region 4 championship. Us being in Region 3 now, Region 3 and 4 will play this Friday. We're going to meet somewhat in the middle. I think it's a little closer for them, but somewhat in the middle in Corpus Christi, Texas at Buccaneer Stadium, 7 o'clock on Friday. And it's going to be a huge crowd and a lot at stake. Obviously, the winner gets to go to the finals the next week. So we're going to talk about that game when we come back. But as we always do, we're going to take a little pause here and kick it over to Coach Melissa Miller, our Assistant Athletic Coordinator, and she's going to talk about the week that was in Smithson Valley Athletics and then the week ahead in Smithson Valley Athletics. And then we'll come back and talk about the semifinal game. So Coach Miller, take it away.
Thanks, Coach Hill. Congrats to you, your staff, and the boys on a huge win over A&M Consolidated. We look forward to watching you this week. Speaking of some good play, our girls basketball headed to the New Braunfels Canyon tournament this past weekend. Had a really, really strong showing as they prepare to move into district. They've got one more preseason game where you can catch them this week. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Boys basketball took their out-of-town trip to Georgetown, the Jack Frost tournament. They went 1-3. Played some really, really competitive teams. Leander Rouse, I believe a private school, had a big win over Churchill, which is a 6A. So proud of those boys and Coach Thornton. And then wrestling. Let's talk about wrestling for a minute. Did you see the setup for?
Yeah,
It was unreal.
Saw it all.
So
It is
Coach
unreal.
Clarkson, Coach Mack hosted what we call the Ranger Roundup here. Friday was JV. This past Saturday was varsity. And you think like wrestling match, wrestling meet, I had no idea it was as involved as it was. I mean, from all over the district, schools let us borrow their mats. Coach Clarkson had the whole foyer set up, tables, printed signs. He's so organized. I can't imagine. I mean, over 300 athletes. You would think chaos, but it really wasn't.
Right. No.
Chaos.
They get them in. They do their
They
do
know
their thing and
exactly
get
what
the
they're
next group
supposed to
going.
do.
Yeah.
So props to Coach Clarkson and Coach Mack on just hosting that and running it efficiently. But also to our kids. Our boys ended up winning the entire Ranger Roundup, bringing home first place as a team. And then the girls, very close second place. In their division. And then there's a couple kids that we want to shout out. All of these kids got first place in their division. It's a lot of Rangers. So huge shout out to Hudson Chilton, Tristan Luna, Bryce Palmer, Absalon Valencia, Efren Ares Mendez, and then on the girls' side, Avery Green and Sierra Reischchick. All of those Rangers got first place. We had even more second place finishers, which is shown by us winning the entire thing on the boys' side and second place on the girls' side. So shout out to them
a
for
lot of first place.
It's unreal.
Well
I mean,
done.
yeah. Shout out to them for not just doing well in the tournament, but running an efficient tournament, because we both know how difficult and how much prep work goes into that. So congrats to our entire wrestling program. And I think you have some more congrats to talk about.
I do. Our student of the week, we're actually going to name a couple of students of the week for this week. Joshua Piegler, Carlo Iannelli, and Luke Jovic. These students all took time to take care and clean up some areas in the cafeteria and around the building after some other students they were just cleaning up messes that weren't theirs and taking initiative and being really gracious about making sure our campus is kept clean. So
That's
thanks,
awesome.
guys.
Yeah.
And then our teachers of the week, we have two, Chris Helke and Claudia Solis. So Chris Helke and Claudia Solis are both our STUCO representatives. They do a fantastic job with our kids. They put on a flawless Veterans Day ceremony.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. They also host homecoming. They host a homecoming dance. The homecoming dance was packed. So this has just been things that they've done over the semester.
The decorations during homecoming.
Yes.
I mean, I can't imagine what that takes to
Yes.
sponsor that organization.
Yes, and the planning that's involved. And not only do they do that, they run our Chick-fil-A leadership group. They're just very involved with our kids and promoting our student council. So we appreciate you, Chris Helke and Claudia Solis.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Looking into this next week, lots going on. Our girls basketball team, if you're looking to find them, they will be here at Smithson Valley this Friday night, taking on the New Braunfels Unicorns. Varsity will go at 6:30, sub-varsities at 5. That is going to be the last preseason game as they prepare to start district next week. If you can't be there Friday, maybe you're going to football on Friday, then next Tuesday would be a great game for you to be at. Our girls start their district season versus Kerrville-Tivy here at Smithson Valley. Again, varsities at 6:30, sub-varsities are at 5. So good luck to them as they wrap up their preseason and then get ready to start district, which we all know is the most important season on Tuesday. Boys basketball is still in the heart of their preseason. So they're taking today, Tuesday, off, giving themselves a little break after a big 3-day tournament before they turn around and head to the Churchill Classic this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's held at Churchill High School. You can follow along on social media to find out game times and opponents. And then wrestling this Thursday and Friday will head to the Ultimate Warrior competition, which is going to be hosted down the street at Piper High School. So that's going to be Thursday and Friday during the day. So if you're looking for something to do, you can head over there and watch our wrestlers. And then girls soccer is finally getting started. They have been out there practicing early every morning.
They are.
Rain, cold weather. I'm an indoor sport person, but props to them. They come in their parkas with their cold red noses. But they are actually going to start with a scrimmage this Friday against the New Braunfels Unicorns here at SV. Our JV team will go at 5:30. Varsity will follow them at 7:15. They've got a couple scrimmages scheduled, and then they get their preseason and get district going. So you had a great run last year. You weren't really here for it, but ended up at the state tournament. So big things expected for them this season. Boys soccer's getting going as well. We just have a lot of great things going on, and we can't fail to mention football. They are going to play this Friday versus Brownsville Veterans Memorial, 7 o'clock, Buccaneer Stadium in Corpus Christi for the state semifinal game. Unreal.
That is unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't
so
believe it.
State semifinal game.
Yeah.
Wow. How many times have we been to this place
I mean,
before?
we've had some success. We had to have been
Yeah.
there before. I'm just not positive how many times.
Yeah. Coach Hill, have we been here before? Tell us.
Well, this is my 31st year here at Smithson Valley. I started here when I was 10, and so I'm not really as old as that. But Coach Wester's been here for all 31 of those, so you can answer that question.
It's going to be our 7th time. Been fortunate.
7 times in the Final Four, and of course this will be number 7. In those previous 6 trips, we won 3 of those and lost 3 of those. The first time we went, we played the Lamarck Cougars over there at Bobcat Stadium in Southwest Texas. Full house, about as crowded as you could get. And lost that one right at the end, and then a couple of years later, I guess we had a little return trip there, huh?
Yes, sir.
When was that?
Well, we went to Nederland. We beat Nederland and Rice before that.
Yep, we beat them in 2001. We played the Nederlands at Rice Stadium and won that one. Went to the finals the next week. Very next year, 2002.
2002, if I recall, it was the Katy Tigers. They're back at Texas State.
Won that in 2.
Yes, sir.
Went to the finals again. Beat Katy over there at Southwest Texas, and then 2 years later,
2004, Alamodome, Clear Lake.
Beat them too.
Yes, sir. Close game.
Close game, running an option offense.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're going to talk about that here in a minute. That was 2004, and then 2005. Do it again.
Back with Katy, wasn't it?
Back with Katy. Drive up there to Houston and
Tully.
play Katy and Tully.
Yeah.
Had a chance to win right at the end. Didn't. And 3 years later, we go back to Rice Stadium, play Katy again.
Yes, sir.
We'd won the first one, they'd won the second one, and they beat us over there at Rice, 2008. And so we've been there, done that, but it's been a little bit of a while, the way some of the brackets have gone in recent years. A lot of times semi-final, final caliber opponents, state championship opponents, we've had 5-6 occasions where we've played that team in the second round or even the first round. And so, excited to be here. Excited for our players, excited for our coaches, excited for our program, excited for our community. But that excitement is always quickly tempered by what the task at hand. And the task at hand this week is playing the Veterans Memorial Chargers, who we talked about a few weeks ago. What was that? Some kind of horse, you said?
Yeah, I think we
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
Some
I
kind of-
never knew that till a couple of weeks ago when we played another Chargers, but as now I know. But we're playing them, and very good football team, as you would expect when there's only 4 left. You know, in a different kind of football team, in unfortunately the most positive ways. And their offense coach, not what we've been defending.
No, sir. They'll be different than what we've defended for quite a while. Thing that jumps out, they're very well coached at what they do. They're committed to running the football. It's kind of that service academy option offense, where they, you know, relies a lot on the quarterback and his decision making, and they got a really, really good one. He's kind of become the heart of their team, and he runs the ball well. He throws the ball extremely well. They got a couple of receivers they really like to feature. Their leading rusher, I think, also plays some safety for them, and he's one of their leading receivers, leading rusher, and playing defense. Got a really solid fullback and a little X receiver that's making all the catches. There's no deficiencies, as you would expect in a semifinal game.
And I think the big thing is, and this is very much on purpose, very much by design, you don't see it often.
No, sir.
You know, they're running something. That I'm sure that's part of the big reason why they've chosen this style of offense. They know that people will have a difficult time getting ready for that in 3 or 4 days. And then, by the way, we're really good at it. And now they're very reminiscent. Our Ranger fans, we've played Wagner now for a number of years. Their style of offense it's not the same exactly, but it's very reminiscent of that. Yeah.
We'll have to be very disciplined and assignment-oriented football.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
no question. And good players, well thought out scheme, and a scheme that you don't see much, and with a lot on the line. And so defense has a tall challenge. Our offense has an equally tall challenge. Coach Hill, what about Chargers defense?
So they're very well rounded on defense, play a couple of different fronts, and some of that might be driven by the opponent. But the thing that sticks out watching film the most is just their ability to stop different styles of offense throughout the playoffs. They play PSJ North, who's got a really great reputation for running the football, and for the most part held those guys in check and stopped that running game. And then they've played some teams that are more spread-oriented and can throw the ball all over the place, in CC Vet and Corpus Christi Miller last week. And, you know, they kind of adapted their defense and stopped those guys as well.
Yeah.
So really well coached. They've got a great plan, and I'm sure they're going to have some wrinkles in their game for us as well, and we just need to do a good job of hopefully recognizing those things and just doing what we do best and trying to establish the run game and take some quick gains and shots down the field and see if we can't get our offense going.
Well, it'll be a tall order, but it is going to be 7 o'clock at Buccaneer Stadium in Corpus Christi, Texas. You know, tickets are going fast, and there's going to be probably more tails than seats to put tails in. You know, it's going to be a great atmosphere for football. I'm excited for our players and our coaches and our program and the Smithson Valley community. And we hope you'll make that trip just straight down 37 and a couple hours away, and have the opportunity to play for a semifinal championship, which would put you, of course, into the next and final round. So we'll talk about that next week. Hope to see you at the stadium, and we thank you for being on today, and we'll see you next time.